What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hey, it's the NFL Guys Podcast. We are reviewing Week 8 in the NFL. And, wow, what a week it was. Jimmy Baba Ganoush, how'd you do in your fantasy football this week?
I won.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. I went 4-7. I had a shitty fucking week, let me tell you. Unbelievable. So anyway, let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. The Thursday night game, Arizona Cardinals lost to the Green Bay Packers 24-21. Aaron Rodgers went 22 for 37 for 184 yards, 2 touchdowns. A.J. Dillon, 16 carries for 78 yards. Kyler Murray, 22 for 33 for 247 yards. Chase Edmonds, 7 carries for 30 yards and a touchdown. James Conner had a really good game. 5 carries, 22 yards and 2 touchdowns. Even though he didn't have a lot of rushing yards, must have been a lot of goal line touchdowns. I didn't see this game. DeAndre Hopkins, 2 catches for 66 yards. Panthers defeated the Falcons 19-13. Sam Darnold went 13 for 24 for 129 yards. Chuba Hubbard went 24 carries for 82 yards and a touchdown. Matt Ryan went 20 for 27 for 146 and a touchdown. Taji Sharp had 5 catches for 58 yards, and Cordell Patterson had 5 catches, 37 yards, and 1 touchdown. Do you think that Cordell Patterson might win, comeback player of the year? I don't know if he's up for that award, but I could see him totally winning that. Calvin Ridley, he is stepping away from football with mental health issues. I don't know if Calvin Ridley is even going to be back this year. I think he's going to sit out this whole year, dealing what he's got to deal with, and then maybe he'll come back as a bigger, stronger, better wide receiver next year, because Calvin Ridley has been not really having a great year. You know, Calvin Ridley was probably drafted really high, but he's just not performing really good this year. Titans defeated the Colts 34-31. Ryan Tannehill went 23 for 33 for 265 yards and 3 big touchdowns. Derrick Henry had 28 carries for 68 yards, and Derrick Henry left the game with a foot injury. And ladies and gentlemen, it seems like Derrick Henry is going to miss the rest of the season with the foot injury. Oh my God, that's a huge blow for the Tennessee Titans. Huge blow for fantasy football players. Derrick Henry was keeping Tennessee afloat. I think it was him and A.J. Brown. That's about it. Tannehill's been up and down, but with not having Derrick Henry, it's going to be really interesting to see what Tennessee does, because I feel like they're a lock for a playoff spot, obviously. So, oh man, Tennessee Titans fans has got I should say Tennessee Titans fans and fantasy football owners who have Derrick Henry, when they heard this news, they were probably like,
No!
What? No!
Exactly. And I had Derrick Henry on one of my teams, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? How else am I going to get fucked this year? Like, seriously, I'm having the worst fucking fantasy football, on a few of my teams. A lot of my ESPN, I think I'm in first place on one of my ESPN teams. My Yahoo fucking sucks. I'm in 4th and 9th place. It's just, so many injuries, so many players underperforming. This has got to be the worst fantasy football year I fucking ever had in my existence of fucking fantasy football. Fuck. Unbelievable. But they did sign Adrian Peterson, I think that's a smart move. I think Adrian Peterson might have had some gas in the tank. Still, he might. I don't know if he's been just sitting at home eating ice cream and Doritos. I'm hoping he kept in shape. I just feel like there's sparks, still left for Adrian Peterson. I just really hope, he's no Derrick Henry, but he was Derrick Henry back in the day in his youth. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see what Adrian Peterson does. I picked him up on a few of my teams. I think he could be a good flex player. I don't know. But anyway, A.J. Brown had 10 catches for 153 yards and 1 touchdown. Carson Wentz, 27 for 51, 231, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And I think the Colts had this game. I think they were on the goal line, and I don't remember. I was watching the Bears, so I flipped over and I missed it. When they were showing the interception Carson Wentz threw. He should just threw it away, I think, or something. And Tennessee intercepted it, ran it in for the end zone for the game-winning touchdown. I can't remember, but I think that's how it went. Jonathan Taylor, 16 carries for 70 yards, 1 touchdown. And Michael Pittman, 10 catches for 86 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Buffalo Bills defeated the Miami Dolphins 26-11. Josh Allen went 29 for 42 for 249 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had 8 rushes for 55 yards and 1 touchdown. Cole Beasley, 10 catches for 110 yards. If you need a good receiver, definitely pick up Cole Beasley. I think I've said this before. He's a good flex player. Tua, 21 for 39 for 205 yards. Devontae Parker had a pretty good game, 8 catches for 85 yards. Mike Gesicki, 3 catches for 48 yards. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe it. Upset City, the Jets. Oh my God, the Jets finally won their first game. They upset the Bengals 34-31. Yep, they won their first game, and I know my good friend Johnny Bob Ganoush. Dude, I know you're a big Jets fan. How are you feeling about that Jets win?
I'm so happy.
Well, I am so happy for you. I am so happy for you. And for the Jets. How about Matt White? 37 for 45, 405 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Watch out, Zach Wilson. Oh my God. Is Matt White the quarterback and not Zach Wilson? Is Zach Wilson going to be the big backup? It's almost like a Sam Darnold situation again. Oh my God. I don't know. Maybe you stick with Matt White. If they go in and beat New England this weekend, oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jets might have found their quarterback in a hidden gem. Michael Carter, good game. 15 carries for 77 yards and 1 touchdown. 9 catches for 95 yards also. Joe Burrow, 21 for 34 for 259 yards and 3 touchdowns. Joe Mixon, 14 carries for 33 yards and a touchdown. Jamar Chase, 3 catches for 32 yards and a touchdown. T. Higgins, 4 catches for 97 yards. So, yeah, congratulations, New York Jets, for winning your first game and a huge upset on the Cincinnati Bengals. The Steelers beat the Browns 15-10. Big Ben went 22 for 34 for 266 yards and a touchdown. Najee Harris, 26 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown. Deontay Johnson, 6 catches for 98 yards. Baker Mayfield, 20 for 31, 225. Nick Chubb came back this week. 16 carries for 61 yards. Jarvis Landry, 5 catches for 65 yards. Odell Beckham, 1 catch for 6 yards. And I think Odell Beckham's time as a Cleveland Brown is ending. I feel like he's going to get traded today. So they've got until 4 o'clock to make deals. So it's going to be really interesting to see if Odell Beckham gets moved or if Cleveland just keeps him and then cuts him at the end of the year or something. I don't know what's going on with Odell Beckham. And the Cleveland Browns, I thought, was going to be a team that's going to be like right there at the end, but Cleveland Browns has really fallen off the pier, let me tell you. The Eagles, well, they defeated the Lions 44-6. No surprise there. I knew that was going to be a blowout. Jalen Hurts went 9 for 14 for 103 yards. He also had 7 rushes for 71 yards. Byron Scott, 12 carries for 60 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Jordan Howard, the former Chicago Bear, 12 carries for 57 yards and 2 touchdowns. Boy, I don't know if this is going to be something going forward, but Byron Scott and Jordan Howard, wow. Like, what about Gainwell? Like, Gainwell didn't even make a mark in this game, so I am taking a risk. I picked up Byron Scott. I picked up Jordan Howard on the same team, I believe, or on a few of my teams. I'm like, hey, if the Eagles are going to give the ball to Jordan Howard and Byron Scott, that might be a hidden gem that you might find in fantasy football. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Lions. Obviously, is Jared Goff is the right guy there in Detroit, but it's going to be really interesting to see who the Lions upset, who they beat. Jared Goff, 25 for 34 for 222 yards. DeAndre Swift, 12 carries for 27 yards. And TJ Hockenson, 10 catches for 89 yards. The Rams defeated the Texans 38-22. Matt Stafford, 21 for 32, 305 yards and 3 touchdowns. Darrell Henderson, 14 carries for 90 yards and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp, 7 catches for 115 yards and 1 touchdown. David Mills, 29 for 31 for 310 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rex Burkhead, 4 carries for 21 yards and a touchdown. And Brandon Cooks, 6 catches for 83 yards and 1 touchdown. And I don't know if this is good or bad, but man, picking up Von Miller in a trade, the Rams defense got so much better. Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, and Von Miller, oh my God. Like, that defense, I feel like got, like, a lot better. I think, honestly, with that move, the Rams playing the way they are, I think they're coming out of the NFC. I think they're going to be in the Super Bowl. I had Tampa Bay in there, but I don't know. They might give some competition to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Green Bay Packers is still one of my dark horse favorites. Oh man, with making that move, it's going to be really interesting to see what the Rams does going forward. Moving on, the 49ers defeated the Bears 33-22. Oh my God, like what the fuck? Like, Bears was playing pretty decent in the first half, and they just fell apart, and there is no way they're going to beat Pittsburgh. I think it's a Monday night game. Oh, my God. Like, that could be a horrendous game also. Jimmy G, well, he had a really good game. 17 for 28, 322 yards. Elijah Mitchell, 18 carries for 137 yards and 1 touchdown. Deebo Samuel, 6 catches for 171 yards. What about that big run that Deebo Samuel did? And also Elijah Mitchell. Man, unbelievable. Justin Fields, 19 for 27, 175 yards and a touchdown. He also had 10 rushes for 103 yards and a touchdown. Boy, that big run by Justin Fields was fantastic. Khalil Herbert, he got injured in the game and didn't return, so Ryan Nall came in. Khalil Herbert had 23 carries for 72 yards. Darnell Mooney, 6 catches for 64 yards. So I don't know what the status going forward with Damian Williams also left this game too. So I really don't know. With Tariq hurt, I don't know how serious Damian Williams is hurt. And Khalil Herbert. Eddie Jackson left the game. Khalil Mack didn't play because he's got a foot injury still. That foot is still bothering. So I don't know what the Bears is going to do about running back. They might have to bring up Chris Thompson from the practice squad maybe this week. The Patriots defeated the Chargers 27-24. Mac Jones went 18 for 35 for 218 yards. Damian Harris, 23 carries for 80 yards and 1 touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, 3 catches for 60 yards. Justin Herbert, 18 for 35 for 223 yards and 2 touchdowns. Justin Jackson, 3 carries for 79 yards. And Keenan Allen, 6 catches for 77 yards and 1 touchdown. And this is kind of a surprise. I'm really shocked in a way that the Patriots defeated the Chargers. So that was definitely a kind of a surprise loss by the Chargers. The Seahawks defeated the Jags 31-7. This was my upset pick, and that didn't happen. So Jacksonville Jaguar fans are basically,
I give up, that's it.
Exactly. They're just like, you know what? I give up. I'm done for this year. Geno Smith, 20 for 24 for 195 yards and 2 touchdowns. And it looks like Russell Wilson's going to be coming back after the bye. So that's great for the Seahawks. Alex Collins, 10 carries for 44 yards. Tyler Lockett, 12 catches for 144 yards. DK Metcalf, 6 catches for 43 yards and 2 touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence, well, he went 32 for 54, 238, and 1 touchdown. The Saints defeated the Bucks 36-27, this was like kind of a huge surprise. Jameson Winston, 6 for 10 for 56 yards and 1 touchdown. And he also left the game and did not return. So Trevor Siemian came in, 16 for 29 for 159 yards and a touchdown. Alvin Kamara had 19 carries for 61 yards and 1 touchdown. Mark Ingram, his first game as a Saint, he had 6 carries for 27 yards and 2 catches for 25 yards. Tom Brady, 28 for 40, 375 yards, 4 big touchdowns for him. And Chris Godwin, 8 catches for 140 yards and 1 touchdown. So this was a bad game for the Buccaneers. I know they are definitely going to bounce back in this game. The Broncos defeated Washington 17-10. Teddy Bridgewater went 19 for 26 for 213 yards and 1 touchdown. Melvin Gordon had 10 carries for 47 yards and 1 touchdown. Tim Patrick, 3 catches for 64 yards. Jerry Jeudy, on his return back, had 4 catches for 39 yards. Taylor Heineke went 24 for 39 for 270 yards and 1 touchdown. Antonio Gibson had 11 carries for 46 yards. J.D. McKissick had 8 catches for 83 yards. And Terry McLaurin, wow, very quiet game for him. 3 catches for 23 yards. The Cowboys, wow, I'm really surprised they defeated the Vikings with a full Vikings team that is healthy. And the Cowboys won with Cooper Rush, with Dak Prescott not playing. I mean, this is kind of an upset. Like, even though the Cowboys is playing really good, I really honestly thought the Vikings was going to win this game. Cooper Rush, 24 for 40 for 325 and 2 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott, 16 carries for 50 yards. Amari Cooper, 8 catches for 122 yards and a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, 6 catches for 112 yards and a touchdown. Kirk Cousins went 23 for 35 for 184 and 1 touchdown. Dalvin Cook had 18 carries for 78 yards. Adam Thielen, 6 catches for 78 yards and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson, 2 catches for 21 yards. The Cowboys, they might be the best team in the NFC. The Monday night game, oh my God, what's wrong with the Chiefs' offense? Like, I thought this was going to be a blowout, but they barely beat the Giants 20-17, which I think one of my friends said they kicked a field goal with a minute left in the game. Unbelievable. Patrick Mahomes, 29 for 48, 275 and 1 touchdown. Tyreek Hill had 12 catches and 94 yards and a touchdown. Daniel Jones went 22 for 32 for 222 yards, 2 touchdowns. Devontae Booker had 15 carries for 60 yards and 5 catches for 65 yards. So definitely a good game for Devontae Booker's. But, man, this Jets offense, I honestly don't know. They've got to get going, or they could get in the playoffs and be knocked out in the first round. So, but anyway, there's your recap for Week 8. So, my picks for the week, I lost on the Cardinals game. I lost on the Falcons game because the Panthers won. I lost on the Bengals because the Jets won. I lost on the Bears because the 49ers won. I lost on the Chargers and Pats. I lost on the Seahawks and Jags, even though I had the Jags upsetting the Seahawks. I know that was probably a crazy pick. I picked the Bucks over the Saints. I lost on that game. But I did win on the Titans. I did win on the Bills over the Dolphins. I won the Steelers over the Browns. I won on the Eagles over the Lions. I won on the Rams over the Texans. I won on the Broncos over Washington. And then I won on the Cowboys over the Vikings and the Chiefs over the Giants. So I went 8-7 this week. And I am 64-42. In my fantasy 3 players to shine, I picked Joe Burrow this week. I predicted he was going to have 32 fantasy points. He only had 20, so I missed it by 12 points. I got pretty close with Darrell Henderson this week. I predicted he was going to have 25 fantasy points. He ended up with 22, so I missed it by 3. And then Jamar Chase, I predicted he was going to have 24 fantasy points this week. He ended up having 13, and I missed it by 11. My 3 bold predictions, well, I predicted that Derrick Henry was going to have 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. Well, he only had 68 yards and no touchdowns because that injury messed him up. I had Jamar Chase going for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. Well, he only had 3 catches for 32 yards and 1 touchdown. And then I had Marquez Valdez-Scantling, if he did play, 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. And obviously, that did not work out for me. So he did not play in this game. So let's look at the standings. Well, the Buffalo Bills lead the AFC East at 5-2, with the Patriots at 4-4. The Raiders lead the AFC West at 5-2. The AFC North, well, the Ravens is at 5-2, and the Bengals are at 5-3. The Titans is leading the AFC South at 6-2, with the Colts behind them at 3-5. Now at the NFC divisions, the Cowboys is running away with the NFC East at 6-1. The Cardinals are tied with the Rams in the NFC West, both at 7-1. Packers is running away with the NFC North at 7-1. The Buccaneers and the Saints, well, they got a tight division going on for first and second place. The Buccaneers is leading the NFC South at 6-2, and the Saints are right behind them at 5-2. We are going to talk a little bit of injury news, I believe. As soon as I find the... There we go. Is this what I'm looking for? This is not what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. All right, we're going to talk about some injury news. Tavon Diggs suffered a sprained ankle this week. Jameson Winston was carted off with a knee injury. There's no news on when he is going to return. James Robinson left the game for the Jacksonville Jaguars with a bruised heel. Justin Jefferson had a quad injury, and he did not return. Or Justin Jackson, not Justin Jefferson. I apologize. Sam Darnold left the game with a concussion, so P.J. Walker came in. Eddie Jackson suffered a hamstring injury and didn't return for the Bears. Damian Williams left the game with a knee injury and didn't return. And Derrick Henry, well, He could be out for the rest of the year with that foot injury, but Matthew Berry and the rest at ESPN Fantasy Focus now is saying that Derrick Henry could have a late NFL comeback at the end of the year, maybe for the playoffs, who knows. But there's your injury news. And for the player of the week, I am going to give it to somebody who really stepped up. And I apologize. I want to say right now, the Jets did not win their first game. They won their second game. I apologize about that. So everything I said, Johnny Babaganoush is yelling at me. He's like, dude, the Jets won their second game. What the fuck are you doing? Like, come on, wake up, dude. I'm sorry, Johnny Babaganoush. I'm sorry. I totally overlooked that. So yes, the Jets won their second game. But I am going to give the player of the game to Jimmy Babaganoush. Hit that drum roll. So, my NFL player of the week is Matt White for the New York Jets. 37 for 45, 405 yards, 3 big touchdowns. Wow, Matt White, he might be coming around as being maybe one of the sleeper quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't know if he's going to be like this going forward, but congratulations, Matt White, for being, hey, it's the NFL Guys Player of the Week. Next, we're going to pick a player who maybe should have stayed in bed, played some PS5, get caught up on some Cyberpunk. That player is going to be Terry McLaurin. Where was he in this Washington game? 3 catches for 23 yards? Like, really? I honestly thought Washington had a chance to beat the Denver Broncos, but obviously that didn't happen. Like, honestly, like, I know I picked the Broncos, but I honestly thought Washington could win this game with, Antonio Gibson, but he was kind of banged up. Tyler Heineke's been playing pretty good, but yeah, Terry McLaurin, he just did not show up in this game. Well, that's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for listening to this NFL 8-week recap. We're going to get ready for Week 9 in the NFL tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to have my picks for Week 9, my upset pick, which I haven't really seen who's playing yet for Week 9, but I'm going to get that all together, and I'm going to have that podcast up and going here tomorrow. So anyway, hopefully you have a great day, a great evening, and I will talk to you later.